Good morning, I'm Snow White.
And I'm meteorologist Kristen Van Dyke, or Bumble Bee.
Bumble Bee Van Dyke.
I should have been Snow White. I'm so pale.
I'm actually Nikki, but I'm pretending to be Snow White today because it is Halloween. Happy Halloween,
happy
everybody.
Halloween.
Welcome to the show. I'm in very high heels, so I suddenly have gotten very tall.
Very tall.
Yo, usually we're sitting, so I'm like, I'm tired.
It's a special day today.
Snow Tall White. So yes, I've gotten an apple, but I'm going to wait till the end of the show to eat it because I have a really weird sneaking suspicion that it might not be good for me.
Where'd you get that idea?
I don't know, but I've heard things. I've heard things.
You've heard things. Well, we'll have to keep that away from you.
Now, if you want to get in the Halloween spirit, you want to check out this haunted house in Los Lunas.
Yeah, Abner Hernandez has been going all out on Halloween for 9 years now. This display has 20 homemade ghouls and goblins and more than 1,000 lights.
How cool is that?
Yes.
I'm glad they didn't shut that one down because remember we were talking about it last week that one house that had the party rockin' lights got shut down. I think this is wonderful because it's festive and yeah, it might stop a little traffic, but it's certainly worth it for only one day a year.
So fun. I think it's so cool looking. You know, and they were talking to him, asking him how much it costs because it looks like it'd be fairly expensive.
Yeah.
He said he just keeps adding on to it every single year, so he has no idea.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what, year after year, if you're able to save all the different decorations, then it's only a minimal cost each year. Oh my God, that one's scary. Oh, I don't like that at all. It looked like the Thriller video.
We need some Thriller music.
Yeah, well, hopefully you watched our show yesterday. I highly recommend tonight when you're in bed and you want to watch a scary movie, go to Casa.com. Check out the story we did yesterday about scary movies. There are so many good ones to choose from, so I highly recommend it. Now, of course, we're having a wonderful time over here. I have a little bit of a heavy heart saying that because I know people across the country are having a really rough time. So we want to hear, of course, more about what's going on. So let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, who has this morning's headlines. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, ladies, and good morning to you at home. Yes, let's get right to your headlines this Wednesday morning. We begin with the latest on Superstorm Sandy. This morning, authorities are addressing the damage from the Carolinas all the way up to Maine. Sandy has killed at least 50 people and has knocked out power to about 8 million homes and businesses. In New York, some subway lines and tunnels are still flooded. The fire in Queens that destroyed more than 80 homes there, well, that is still quite a scene this morning. New York's mayor says electricity may not be restored until the weekend or possibly even next week. JFK and Newark airports are, though, open today. That's a little bit of good news. LaGuardia will be closed for at least a few more days. And good news here locally, the direct flights from the Sunport to Baltimore and Washington Dulles are set to fly today. In other news this morning, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office will conduct their annual sex offender address verification operation today. It's aimed at keeping kids safe while they're out trick-or-treating. BCSO, along with several other law enforcement agencies, will be going door to door verifying addresses. Officials say they will also have increased patrols at malls, community centers, and various neighborhoods. You see, sex offenders are not supposed to have any Halloween decorations up that might invite kids to trick-or-treat at their homes. Firefighter in Santa Fe is now looking for a new job. The fire chief there says this particular firefighter we're talking about threatened a bunch of elementary school students recently. La Cienaga's fire chief says Samantha Noki and another volunteer firefighter were recently talking about fire safety at Santo Niño Regional Catholic School. Well, the chief says that Noki could not find her wallet after the presentation and actually thought that one of the kids might have taken it. So this firefighter had the principal take the kids back to the cafeteria for a meeting, and that's when one parent we talked with says the firefighter just snapped.
Started yelling at our kids, telling them that they're stealing from taxpayers, that she keeps thieves like them locked up.
Well, the firefighter found her wallet a few hours later at the fire station. The chief fired her and said her behavior was inappropriate. Now, she will be able to reapply in about 6 months. The peanut plant in Portales that is linked to the nationwide salmonella outbreak will soon be back open. The plant at Sunland Inc. was shut down last month after dozens of people were sickened from salmonella. Sunland officials hope to reopen their peanut processing facility within a week and the peanut butter plant before the end of the year. The FDA investigation states that inspections did reveal evidence of contamination. Sunland Inc. says they will make changes to their operations once the plant reopens, but would not give any other details. All right, well, next week is Election Day, talking about Tuesday, and Carlsbad residents will have a chance to vote and get vaccinated. It is all part of a nationwide initiative called Vote and Vax. The Carlsbad Current Argus reports that free flu vaccination clinics will be set up at 3 polling places from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on November 6th. And voting, get this, is not required at all the clinics to receive the vaccinations. And that wraps it up for your morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt, Kristen, and myself every weekday morning on KRQE News 13. Ladies, this is my Halloween costume. I think this is the best costume. Do you not think so?
I think it's wonderful.
Wow.
You're so investigative in that outfit.
Yeah.
I am the Larry Barker.
Hey, wait. Hey, Larry Barker, would you mind investigating this apple for me? I've been hearing things all morning, and I'm very scared to take a bite.
What do you think about that?
Give me a call.
Okay.
I thought we're going to see a bunch of those.
I have a feeling we are. Well, and I love the Bumble Bee look. Okay, you know, you and I both went to Savers. We talked about it on the news this morning. We talked about it on New Mexico Style last week. And if you are looking for those last minute things and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm going trick-or-treating tonight, but I'm not yet ready, go to Savers. We got great costumes there.
Yeah, you can get wings and a head thing for like under $10. I mean, and so if you already have the rest of your outfit, then you can save so much money. And there's so many things like wigs for $7.
Oh, yeah.
It is such a good deal. And Halloween shouldn't be broke.
No, don't put yourself into debt.
It's decent quality too.
Absolutely.
It's good. I really like that store.
Definitely. And also we wanted to recommend going over to the Biopark today. I know they're doing something special there. I think, what is it, a Shark Tank that they're doing, guys?
Yes, they're going to have divers underneath from 2 to 3 this afternoon. And they're going to be carving pumpkins. And then the sea turtles like to eat the pumpkin.
How cool is that?
And then the fish will swim through. They like the maze of swing through like the jack-o'-lantern, underwater jack-o'-lanterns.
How
Doesn't
fun.
that sound fun? And
I love it.
I'm sure it's free too, so.
Well, I have something funny to say. You are a Bumblebee, so I think you should introduce this next story.
I think so, you're right. Well, it's time now for the Hollywood Buzz.
It sure is. TMZ correspondent Gary Trock joins us from Los Angeles. Oh, Gary's a hot dog. What? Oh my gosh.
Good morning.
You look fabulous. You've got the Bumblebee and Snow White, and I am so much more interested in taking a bite of a hot dog than the apple, because I've heard evil things about it.
Nice.
Well, welcome to the show. Happy Halloween, Gary.
Happy Halloween.
You know, TMZ is reporting that Kelsey Grammer showed up at the Playboy Mansion Halloween party with his date. And guess who his date was? His infant daughter, Faith, seen here with her own personal bunny. And apparently the actor doesn't think he did anything wrong. I don't know if I agree with that. What do you think? What's going on, Gare?
Yeah, there was a big debate in our newsroom. So yeah, Kelsey Grammer went to the Playboy Mansion Halloween party, brought his baby in like her little carrier, and basically was like leaving her like around. If you see the picture, there's people are kind of stacking like cocktails around the baby, and it's not the best environment for a newborn baby. Kelsey's saying that basically him and Kate are breastfeeding right now, or she's breastfeeding. They don't have a nanny, and so basically Faith goes everywhere with them.
Oh, God.
My thoughts and a lot of people's thoughts in the room were, how about you don't go to the Playboy
Thank
Mansion
you.
Halloween party?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
You have this baby. So I think that he's, kind of caught with this photo a little bit, and he's kind of feeling bad. Definitely not the right environment for a baby. And plus, like, how awful is this? I have not been to the Playboy Mansion, and this kid is not even a year old and has been to the Playboy Mansion. There's something wrong with that.
Good point. Yeah, I think there needs to be new priorities right now.
Yeah,
I think the guest list needs to change.
Well, Gary,
Yep.
TMZ is reporting that longtime Santa Fe resident Gene Hackman slapped a homeless man who threatened the actor and his wife outside a Santa Fe restaurant. Can you tell us how this all went down and what happened?
Yeah, so pretty crazy. I guess yesterday around 1:30, Santa Fe police got a call. So Gene Hackman and his wife were leaving a restaurant, and apparently this man came up to them. Gene Hackman thought that he feared for him and his wife's safety. Apparently, according to Gene, this man also used some derogatory language towards Gene's wife, and so Gene slapped him in the face. I mean, Hackman doesn't take that. He's
Lex Luthor.
He does, so. Yeah, so apparently because he thought that there was a reasonable threat to him and his wife's safety, when police did show up, no charges were filed. They thought that he acted with reasonable force. Apparently this homeless guy has a record for aggravated assault in the past. So nobody was arrested or anything like that, but Gene Hackman, don't mess with him.
Clearly don't mess. Don't mess with Gene Hackman. We were both in Santa Fe all weekend, and we didn't run into him, but now I know exactly what not to do should I see Lex Luthor out in public.
Just be nice.
Exactly. Just be nice. Exactly. Well, Gary, thank you so much as always. Make sure that you don't get any sauerkraut on you or anything today, because then somebody might get a little hungry. Have a good day. Be
you guys
safe.
have a good one.
Thank you. And you can catch TMZ weeknights right here on 2 Casa Fox every single afternoon at 5:30. I certainly do, and it's a lot of fun. Good way to get some good information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's time for our other Wednesday morning tradition called You Gotta Be Kidding Me. And of course, this is when we tell you some stories that could only make you say, you gotta be kidding me. So here's the first one of the day. Now, this is really interesting. Listen to this. A woman in China was sued by her husband after she gave birth to a baby that the husband considered so ugly, I'm quoting this, that he insisted she must have had an affair. After all, here's the story. His wife was just breathtakingly beautiful. He believes that he's hot, so he says. So how is it possible that they could have an ugly baby? This is the story. I'm not kidding about this. So now when it came to light, the woman had a lot of plastic surgery before they met. And so the new daughter merely inherited her original face, the one she was born with. And the man not only divorced his wife, but he sued her, listen to this, for $120,000, and he won. Here's why. Take a look at this photo of the woman before and after plastic surgery. Whoa. Can you believe this story? Please say it with me. You gotta be kidding me. Is this crazy? Right?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a big difference. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, if that's what, he married her for what she was at that point.
Apparently, no. He married her thinking that she looked like this, like the after, not knowing she had plastic surgery. First of all, this is so wrong. This is so superficial and distasteful.
Even if you have 2 beautiful people, it doesn't mean that you're going to have the most beautiful baby in the world. Even if they aren't, they still should be beautiful.
Absolutely.
To you as a parent.
Of course. But here's the story, is that the judge ruled that the man had technically married the woman under false pretenses, so then he ruled in his favor. And I would say, clearly, she is better off without him. What a jerk.
So is the baby.
I just expressed my opinion very bluntly, but honestly, that is just absolutely horrific. So you got to be kidding me about that. But it's the truth.
Yeah, well, here's another one.
Okay.
The clothing retailer American Apparel is being slammed for its Sandy sale email that reads, in case you're bored during the storm, 20% off everything for the next 36 hours. To make matters worse, only the hurricane-swept states were eligible for the discount.
Unbelievable. Let me just say that, you know, right now there are people who can't turn their lights on, they can't take showers, they can't drink coffee, they can't. You think that they're going shopping right now? No. There's a few things a little more important. So, of course, again, our prayers are with everybody on the East Coast.
There's always somebody trying to take advantage of the mishaps or the problems that other people are facing.
Yeah.
There's always, you know, and it kind of sounds that way.
It's very tacky, selfish. Actually. This is a time, you know, and everybody that's going through that right now, they are coming together, they are helping each other. So let's see good things come out of this, please. Do good things for people. Okay, speaking of doing great things for people, Ronald McDonald House provides comfort and care to families whose children are undergoing medical treatment in Albuquerque. And we want to congratulate New Mexico's only Ronald McDonald House on 30 years of service.
And the public is invited to an open house today to meet the volunteers and staff who have kept the house running smoothly over the years. In fact, some of the very first families that stayed at the house have come back to celebrate the milestone.
And we actually caught up with one of the first babies who is now 30.
The biggest impact that Ronald McDonald House had was that it afforded me and my mother, you know, a lot of opportunities that we wouldn't have normally had had it not been for the Ronald McDonald House.
Now, Jesse Pride, who we just heard from, is actually one of the guest speakers at today's event. The house is located at 1011 Yale Northeast and will be open from 4 to 6. So maybe before you do your trick-or-treating, it's a good way to go over and support them. I love that story. And you can, of course, get your family in the spirit of things by taking them, get this, to the Cardboard Playhouse Theater Company's production of Vampire Hamburger.
In this original musical, a group of kids enter an abandoned burger joint and unlock the curse of the vampire hamburger. We caught up with the young actors during rehearsal. Take a look.
I'm playing Julia. She's an 8th grade girl, and she's really into comics and mostly the mystery of the vampire hamburger.
I am playing Razvan. He's a Romanian chef who comes to America. He's very passionate about what he does. But whenever people stop going, he kind of goes nuts, and this is where the vampire Hamburger comes up.
Well, Luis is kind of the main character in it. He gets in trouble a lot. He's kind of very dishonest, but in the end he kind of fixes it.
It's a play for young audiences about some middle school kids that stumbled upon this old abandoned hamburger joint called Monster Burger, and they sort of in the process unleash this curse of this vampire hamburger that if it bites you, then you are addicted to vampires. And so they have to now break the curse, right?
I think it's really fun. I think it's cool to have an original piece done.
In an original work, you get to just play with it and create it, and it's your own thing. You get to make the character your own.
Well, for this one, I can just kind of make it my own character instead of like being Augustus Gloop. I have to kind of go by what he is. Already, I can make it my own, and I can have fun with it.
They're absolutely amazing, and they all have the different like ranges of experience. You know, some have done mini shows. Some, I believe, this is the first show that they've ever done.
Well, I think this is a very Halloween show. It's very seasonal and fall-like, and it's about hamburgers, so they're probably going to want one after they leave, since there's a lot of songs about hamburgers in it. Basically, it's just a really good show. It's kind of frightening, I guess, but it's pretty funny at the same time.
Yeah, so if you're interested in seeing the show, then please look for tickets and times at theboxabq.com.
I have a feeling that places like Lottaburger are going to bump up their business after people go to the show.
Oh yeah, I'm already in the mood for a hamburger.
I know,
it
really does make you hungry. And the Vampire Hamburger actually runs through Sunday, November 4th, so beyond Halloween. Tickets are only $10. It's affordable.
And it just sounds like such a cute little musical. I mean, I love the plot.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
so cute. And I love to see the young talent across our city be able to get opportunities to perform. And as much as we like seeing the movies, it's great to go to the live theater and support them. So that's wonderful. And also, speaking of our city, the city of Albuquerque has actually issued an air quality alert. You know this best, Kristen, because of a controlled burn northeast of the Jemez Springs.
Right, and if you look outside this morning, you can actually see the thin layer of haze. But these are some pictures that were sent in by Carl the Buzzman. So he sent in these pictures. If you look at the Sandias, you can see that thin layer of haze moving in from the west side. Yeah. So if you have breathing problems, just limit yourself. Don't head outdoors until maybe later in the day. Keep your windows shut. The alert is set to expire by this afternoon. And what happens is overnight you have all that cold air sinking, and then you have the warmer air aloft. And since cold air doesn't rise, heat does. It gets trapped, and so you have all that smoke trapped at the surface. But usually winds pick up, things heat up, and then it kind of mixes out. So you're better off in the afternoon.
Exactly, and you're definitely going to be very well off if you're trick-or-treating tonight, because for whatever reason, we were spared a very difficult week here in the Southwest, and I'm very grateful for all the kids out there that want to go out. You definitely have to tell everybody, because I heard your forecast this morning, and I was like, there's going to be a lot of happy people.
Oh, yeah, this is a great Halloween. I think it's the best forecast I've seen around here in years, or the best weather we're going to see in years for Halloween. We're not going to have the wind or the cold to deal with. 43 degrees, and look out at the Sandias. You can see that haze there, so it is a little smoky out. Today's the last day of it, so once we get through the day, they won't be doing that, those burnings, the controlled burns anymore up near Santa Fe, so it should be clearer air for you. Skies mainly clear as we go through the day, mid-70s with more sunshine than this evening. Temperatures falling off into the 60s for 8 o'clock. Highs around the state, upper 70s to low 80s in the southeast, and we'll be in the middle to upper 60s to the north. So temperatures there will be a little bit cooler this evening for the kids, but your trick-or-treat forecast here, 5 o'clock will be in the mid-70s. We'll have a bright, almost full moon. Temperatures will be in the 60s as we go through 8 o'clock, so you may be able to forego the jackets altogether. And we stay warm all week, highs in the mid-70s, and then we cool things off for the weekend with highs in the 60s.